Welcome once again to our weekly must pick up coins of the week, guys. If you followed last week, almost every single coin we called out 2x, and we looked at a potential higher x as possible. So make sure you guys do not miss these weekly videos so you guys can get and make life-changing money. So let's jump into it a little bit and talk about what coins I feel are going to do pretty good and have some really nice entries and good reversals. We're going to take a look at some mid caps and some large caps to give you guys nice entries so you guys can make a nice 2 to 3 to 4 to 5x, 10x possibly. So let's go ahead and lock right in. Once again, with everything I'm telling you guys right now, not financial advice, but this is just what I'm doing to actually make money and help you guys out. Let's take a look at one of the coins we actually called out last week, which was nobody. We gave you the coin right here. We told you it would come down to the 16 mil range. Came down to the 16 mil range. Boom, bada bing. We're up at 42. So a nice clean 2x plus. We also called other coins. But let's go ahead and talk about the ones we're looking for today. So I'm going to give you guys one that it's almost completely bottomed out. And that is XBT. This looks like a very juicy buy-in here at 1.4 mil. Even though potentially we might get a little bit of retracement, just a little bit tapped underneath that 1 mil range, which is where I would probably look to accumulate. So if you're looking to kind of get into this one, as of me making this video right now is a very decent entry at 1.4, but we could still probably see a retracement down here to the 1 mil range and possibly here that 700 range. If it does come down to that 700 range down here, look for an accumulation zone where things are going to accumulate and it should go back up. But ideally, this does look like a very nice entry point. And I do feel this coin will give us some nice returns. From what we know so far, there is supposed to be some sort of big announcement on XBT. So we're looking forward to that. So this is one that you would probably want to make sure you keep an eye here for a potential return. The next one we're going to take a look at is Gore. And as you guys know, I am a big major fan of Gore. We've had some really amazing returns on Gore. Called it really early at 1 mil. But right now, it's kind of sitting within that 18 mil range, which is what we talked about last week when I mentioned this coin. It had a beautiful run all the way to 34. Once again, a nice clean 2x from our 15 mil entry. It went up, it came back down. Now it's kind of consolidating back within this 18 mil to 16 mil range. I still think this is a beautiful buy-in zone right here within that 16 mil range to that 18 mil range. Anything below 20 mil, I think will give you a nice little return here, where you could possibly make a 2x to a 3x to a 4x. I have really good perception on this one, and I think we do see a break of all-time high pretty soon, which ran up to 60 mil. So I do see this zone testing and then consolidating back down, and then just making a complete push upward. Once again, the target we're trying to break is this 34 mil range. So I do expect this to kind of keep doing this thing where it's kind of consolidating and get a nice bounce here, probably break this and then come back down and then get another retest back to the 66. So hopefully that plays out correctly. And as you guys know right now, things are just moving a little bit more stranger than usual, as there's so many launch pads going out, which have made pump.fun coins kind of come down, which have given us actually some pretty good entries. The next coin we're going to be taking a look at, guys, is one and only Mask, one of the coins that actually surprised a lot of people. People really think that it was going to go this high. Right now, this Mask entry looks very juicy. So we're looking at here at an entry point of 6. Right now, it's at 7 mil. We're going to put this right here. And then we're looking at another point right here at this 5 mil range. I wouldn't recommend buying at this 7 mil range. It still seems a little bit high for me. If you guys really like the coin and really like the meme coin, then probably putting a nice little, a little entry at that 7 mil range would be ideal. But I'm looking to enter, ideal entry for me would be this 5.5 mil range. I kind of want to see it hit that range, and then I would go ahead and start to see if we get a nice consolidation accumulation here, and that would be my buy zone here at 5.5, expecting this to kind of break all-time high and test that range right here. Of course, we will see multiple tests as this runs. If it does come down to this 5.5 mil range, I expect it to test, 10, and then test, 15 here, and so on and so on. But I do feel like we do break all-time high. Really good community behind this coin. But I do want to get a nice ideal entry. So personally, ideal entry for me would be 5.5 mil if you're not in it already. And then you would look to see if you could get another retest here at 10 mil. See what happens if it comes back down. Or if you really like the meme, you could probably get a nice scoop here at the 7 mil range. Set your buy limit here at 5 mil just to accumulate more and get your average cost down to like that 6 mil range. And have a potential of running this one pretty good so you don't miss it if you really like the coin. The next one we're going to be taking a look at is one of my personal favorite ones, which is DUPE. As you guys know, big fan of DUPE. Right now, like I said, the reason some of these coins are actually coming down It's not because the coins aren't good. And actually, I'm kind of happy some of these coins are down because it's going to give some other people entry to the coin that they possibly couldn't have gotten if the entry was too high. But the great thing about these coins is that eventually, once the whole launchpad thing settles and we kind of get an idea of what launchpad's going to lead the way, what launchpad's going to do what, which is doing something more effective, then we will see all these coins rally back up here as we're watching with a bunch of coins I've called and mentioned to you guys on the TG. But I do expect DUPE to kind of hold this nice little range here of this. Right now it's at 13 mil. Maybe, guys, you get that nice, awesome entry here at 11 mil if it does come down here to this 11 mil range. I don't think we'll see this 8 mil entry again. I could be completely wrong, but I highly doubt we see this 8 mil entry. So ideal, I would probably set my buy limit here at this 11 point or 12 mil range right here to just make sure I don't miss it out. So I'll probably set it here at 12 mil. Try to get that entry at 12 mil and just hold my position there. If it does come back down to 8, I would probably buy a little bit more personally. But I do feel this will break all-time high. It's just taking a little bit longer than I personally expected. I didn't expect us to have 20 million launch pads coming out in the same week, which is going to wreck a couple charts and have some charts come down. But I do see this eventually turning around. So DUPE is another one I am a big fan of, and I expect it to do pretty well as we get into the big bull run. All right, another coin that we're also looking at, guys, is LOCKIN. So if you don't know what LOCKIN is, a very bullish coin. It has had beautiful runs all the way up, all the way right here to 110 mil. Currently, right now, it's consolidating at around that 10 mil range. This is my personal interesting entry. I would probably just toss a little bit in there. But my ideal entry would be around this 5 mil range. I don't know if we actually missed it and we will no longer get this 5 mil range entry. So ideally, anything in my personal opinion between that 10 mil to 15 mil range should be ideally. But of course, thinking about you making a ton of money, it's all getting those optimal entries. So I'm going to put a range here. Anything with below that 10 mil range and that 5 mil range. So if you get something like 7 mil or 5 mil, that's where I'm looking to consolidate and put a lot of money in here into this coin and, expect a nice run in for LOCKIN. I think a lot of people are kind of overlooking this one because they're busy trading bunk meme coins, which is perfectly fine because we're printing on that side as well. But I do feel like this is going to have a nice potential run. It ran up all the way to 110, at least run up to the 60 mil range to kind of retest that, resistance zone, but potentially could break that 110 range once everything starts running and everybody starts, getting money from whatever money they made from Fart Coin or any other coin as well. The other one we have, guys, is POPCAT. Now, this one in particular, I've actually called this coin so many times, and people have made so much money on this coin. But we got a very nice dip on this 600 mil range, and we got a consolidation that came back down here to this 266. Right now, it's kind of holding that position, but since a lot of people are rotating money currently in the sense of on different launch pads, I do feel that we might get another test here at this 220 range, where this is where you would probably want to make sure you add a little bit of a bag. Right now, it's almost at 300 mil. Ideally, this would theoretically give you a 2x, but we always want to get that nice juicy multiples, like into the 10x range. And if with that being said, we want to make sure we get that ultimate entry. So ideally for this one, guys, I'm looking for a 220 retest here. That's where I probably would add a little bit more. We'll probably set up another buy here at this 124 range, and that's where I'll put a big bag. If I don't, if it doesn't come down here, I just want to make sure I'm in the position to get a nice multiple. As you guys know, this has ran all the way to 2 billion, and I expect this to kind of do a nice return and come back when we see a bunch of these coins coming in. Remember, a lot of people think the altcoins are the ones that are going to run. I think the major altcoins will run. Eventually, I see a lot of money coming into the meme coin space. So I do expect these coins to go kind of a little bit parabolic in a blink of an eye. You just want to make sure you position yourself accordingly. The other one we're looking, guys, is FWOG, which is one of the artists behind this coin. Really popular coin, as you see here, guys. It ran up all the way to 700 million. Right now it's at 34 mil. So think about it, right? If someone told you could have bought this coin here at 34 mil and you knew it ran up to this high, then you would have ended up buying, right? So right now it is sitting nicely here at this 38 mil range. I do feel that this is a very nice optimal entry. So I would probably position myself just accordingly, but I would set actually 2 buy zones. So I would go ahead and put a buy zone here at this 35 mil range. That would kind of be like my optimal entry. And then I would probably set another buy zone here at this 24 mil range. I do expect that this will be a very good return in the sense of you will be able to make a 2x very quickly. But I do expect this to run sometime soon whenever we got that nice influx of money coming in. And these are the coins I'm currently keeping an eye on right now. But like always, we're always keeping an eye on new runners, things that are moving. If you guys want to stay in touch with like new runners, things that are moving, make sure you guys do two things. Follow me on TG, and number one, stop by every Tuesday and Thursday where I give you guys like a 5x, 10x every single time live on stream. So don't miss out, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.